Okay, so this is the start, the Team Talk podcast. It's a new start for us all, a new adventure. Brooker, Bailey, Danby, thanks for joining me.
Hello.
How are we all doing?
Rather tired, but
Excited.
Yeah, times are tough, but
raring
we
to go.
carry on.
Raring to go, boys.
Raring, yeah, let's be having it. Right, so Brooker's got the notes, I believe, of what we're talking about today. Trying to kick us off.
So let's go into it. So today we're going to be talking about the effects of the coronavirus in sport. We're going to be talking about the Bundesliga. We're going to be talking about other sports in general, and then we're going to, at the end, give our quick conclusion on what is the best thing for the Premier League to do in terms of the coronavirus. So why don't we get into it, and let's start with how do you think football will come back from the coronavirus? Because in my opinion, it's a bit. I don't think it'll be the same till about what, August? No, not even that. It'll be like October.
I think it could be 2021 before it's fully how it was before. Yeah.
It's going to be a long time.
Stadiums until next year now.
No chance you're going to be able to get like 30,000 fans in one place until next year.
Yeah, that's true.
And even if fans, when fans do get back, I think there's going to be like implications in place. Like fans are going to have to wear masks and stuff.
Yeah.
There'll be a million and one different things about it.
I don't think football's going to be the same for a long time.
In my opinion, why don't, especially teams with bigger stadiums, why don't they do a thing where they set up the stadium with, like, instead of having a full ground of having everyone next to each other, why don't they have specific fans can pay money to have one seat, but with like from a distance away, from like 6 feet away from each other?
I don't really think that would be a way to do it. It's not fair on like the fans who
you're gonna
pay
get
their money, but
you can get uproar from season ticket holders who can't go watch the game when some of us can. You can't, and then you're just gonna get people crowding outside the stadium anyway.
You can't have people being priced away.
That's the worry about what they said about Liverpool. If Liverpool do get gifted the trophy, that
there's going to be that many Liverpool fans outside of Anfield.
Exactly, but also, do you think that because of obviously the coronavirus, do you think that will lead to less teams going bust? As obviously, more teams going bust because of obviously the players' wages. And so they're not getting revenue from match day sales. I've heard on average, apparently, the top six in the Premier League make on average about £10 million per game through food sales, through match tickets, through VIP boxes and this, that, the other. Do you think that will have, in my opinion, I think that's going to have a massive impact, not just for obviously the bigger clubs, whereas they can afford it with their billionaire owners, but especially for, I don't know, instances, lower league championship, because people like Wigan and all that, and like the lower league clubs who don't have that finance, like Leeds do or something like that. They have to. They honestly, I've read some article 2 days ago saying that apparently their match day sales is like one of their biggest incomes. So could you see like these low end like / mid table championship clubs could go bust?
Because
it's going to be interesting.
The EFL's got
that emergency fund, haven't they?
Yeah. Do you think that'll be? Do you think the EFL will like come in and just almost
it'll definitely help teams. That is the package is definitely going to be used 100%.
I think teams will still suffer a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
Teams. There's going to be a massive reduction in like how much people are paying for players in like transfers and wages and all that. Over the next few seasons.
I think if you look at the news that broke, was it like last night about United of not making, I can't remember the players and the teams, but they've got them three players out on loan, but they're not making. Not making them pay the loan fees, and they're going to cover it. Which I think it's class.
Do you think? Because I know, especially as a Villa fan myself, do you think that when players, this is a good thing almost, as players with long-term injuries can come back. So players like, I don't know, like an influential player at Villa in my opinion.
So in other words, you've now got your two best players back from injury.
We're looking at it from my...
But it's a good thing. If you look at it at perspective, they're coming back from injury and they'll be able to play.
Look at it from my point of view as a Leicester fan. Literally, as the... remember, we were in that lecture and it came out saying that Leicester got 2 players diagnosed with the virus. Yeah. And then in the same press conference, Maddison was out for like 3 weeks. Pereira was out for the rest of the season with his ACL. And then, like, literally the following weekend, they announced that the league had been cancelled. So, literally, it kind of came at the right time to get all our
players back. Stoke as well, with Joe Allen rupturing his Achilles in our last game.
Oh, yeah, because he was missing.
And he's not missed a minute, He's not missed a minute.
Honestly, I don't think Joe Allen will be back until, like, later, if it starts.
Yeah, it'll be at the back end of this year, I think.
Yeah.
But
he's making progress.
McLean, I think he did some mad bike ride for charity. It was like quite a few miles.
Yeah.
So he's definitely like fully fit again. And then Belinda, I think Belinda's back training today as well. And he is although he don't start, he is still a key player.
It will have some pros to it because, like, especially I don't know any major. In the top 6, I don't know if there's obviously some major injuries, but like I said, they'll be coming.
Harry Kane, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly, for the England
and Rashford as well.
Exactly.
Honestly, I think it has helped England's chances with the Euros, having so many key players going to be back from injury, should they not get injured again.
It'll do them good to have another year to prep for it as well.
Especially like the younger players who are like Mason Greenwood and all that. Gives him another year to progress even more. He's only going to... Like players like him are only going to get better over the next few years. So that's definitely helped us. And Phil Foden as well,
yeah.
Phil Foden's a tricky one because obviously he's got to get his game time to be able to get his chance of getting his England squad because no doubt he's got the potential to do it. But it just needs the game time to prove it.
But I imagine there'll be a lot more game time for players because of fitness rates for everyone.
Oh yeah.
Last thing. Do you think what Deeney is saying, if you haven't heard already, that he's basically saying that he doesn't want to go to training because his younger 5-year-old son has asthma problems?
Well, he's got every right to refuse go training.
Yeah. It's like Kante's done it as well, hasn't it?
There's a counter argument where Watford are paying his wages and a lot of it, so he should go and train.
No, because it's not just his safety; it's his family's as well.
He's even come out and said he's not even fussed about the money, hasn't he? Like it's not about that.
It's not about money. He just wants to be healthy and safe.
Kante's doing the same as well. He's kind of said he's not going to train at the moment.
Yeah, that's for health reasons, isn't it?
Yeah.
If
Premier League
Danny Rose expressed his concerns as well.
If the Premier League does come back mid-June, which I said it was going to,
I don't think it will personally. But
we'll get to that later. But I genuinely don't think Kante. If he's missing these training sessions, will he be fit? Will he be?
No, but he's doing it at home. He's training individually at home.
They've all been given those like fitness.
But they won't be getting
things. So they've got to be doing something.
Yeah, but they won't be getting elite training that they'll be getting at the training ground. Let's go into the next topic, which is the Bundesliga. The Bundesliga is obviously, as everyone knows, has restarted 2 weeks ago now.
Yeah,
last week.
And there's been a lot of good things actually to say about it. The way they've handled it, the way they've set it out, the way they've planned it. What's your opinions about it? Do you think that it's a good thing for the players? I think
football's back.
Yeah,
I never really. I tell you what, it's nice to kind of see a different style of football. Obviously, we only have a focus really on English football, being English. Mm-hmm. But obviously, there's nothing else on, so we're all going and watching the Bundesliga. It's been nice. It's been.
To be fair, I have always liked German football. I think it's just.
We know that.
It's a lot more. It's just. I enjoy it. It's a lot. It's very much different to how the Premier League is.
Why do you think that is? Well,
it's just like the style of play is just so much different. You can. like Jurgen Klopp has started bringing that over with Liverpool now. Like the sort of counter-attacking play, having a very, very strong front three. That is what it's like in Germany. You noticed these German sides have a really good attacking force that are all fast and all can play anywhere along the front three.
Isn't there something that in the Bundesliga you've got to play that 4-2-3-1 formation because that's how the national team plays. So
really,
I swear I saw that, or it was something that you.
I've heard Neuer apparently that he said he wouldn't if basically Bayern Munich is not allowed to buy any goalkeepers because apparently Neuer said he'll leave. They buy another goalkeeper and replace.
Neuer's just signed a new contract, hasn't he?
Yeah. Even though he's like
34 now.
Yeah, he needs to kind of.
He's still class.
Yeah. Okay, let's go into the players. Because the last 2 weeks you've had obviously Dortmund winning back to back. You've had RB Leipzig absolutely ripping up. Mainz? Is it?
Mainz.
Scoring, passing, absolutely dominated them. The home leg and the away leg.
Do you want me to go through the weekend fixtures? I've got them up next to me.
Yeah, go on.
Well, so on Saturday we had Mönchengladbach versus Bayer Leverkusen.
That was a very good game. I watched
Leverkusen
that.
Came out 3-1 winners. Yeah, Havertz scored 2.
What do you think about
Link with a move? He's class. He's absolutely
class. He's always been class. I think it's just because now he's got more eyes watching, more people are going to start saying.
He had that standout season. Was it this year he broke out? Was it last year?
Last year. He broke out last year, but he's having an even better season this year.
Is he like? Was he like 21?
20. Yeah.
20.
He's very young. He's
the fact he's been playing out of position as well, and he scored 4
goals.
Oh
yeah,
has he been playing on the wing?
Up front.
He's been playing the striker, but he's usually a midfielder, isn't he?
Yeah. I think he's into double figures now this season in the league.
Yeah. What do you think about Werner with his link with Liverpool? Do you know what happened?
I don't think he'll go.
Is that have you seen the end of the season?
Have you seen what Mainz's Twitter put out? They were like, just have him Klopp or something like that on their Twitter.
I didn't see that.
We don't want him in the Bundesliga anymore. Because honestly, what did he score? He scored. Did you see the goals? Because they were absolutely mad. He chips the keeper like he's not. He's like, I'm presuming the keeper's tall, and he just chips him like he's not even there. But no,
man, match card ain't coming on FIFA. Yeah, so we had.
Sorry, carry on.
I was just going to carry on for the results, but
yeah, carry on.
Okay, so we had SC Paderborn versus Hoffenheim. That came out 1-1. We had Freiburg versus Werder Bremen.
That was a big game.
Bremen came out 1-0 winners in that.
Yeah, big result.
Bittencourt was an absolute banger on his right foot into the bottom left.
Good finish.
And that was a massive game as well, especially for Werder Bremen at the bottom.
Yeah, because Freiburg are just outside the Europa League places.
Right, really?
Yeah, they're having a good season.
Werder Bremen are second from bottom. They're 2 points off that playoff place, that relegation playoff.
That relegation place is really tightening up now.
Yeah. Then you had Wolfsburg versus Dortmund, with Dortmund coming out 2-0 winners, with Guerrero and Hakimi, both wing backs getting involved on that. Then later on Saturday night, we had Bayern Munich versus Eintracht Frankfurt. Munich coming out 5-2 winners.
Interesting game for
Lewandowski on the score sheet yet again.
Yeah. So you've obviously got a massive game tomorrow with the top 2 playing each other.
It's tomorrow, isn't it?
It'll be a good game.
Have you heard
the classic
Munich's manager has come out and said today that even if they do win and they go 4 points clear, will it be 4 points? Yeah, it'll be 4 points clear.
They're already 4.
No, they're 4 points clear at the minute.
8 points clear. So it's still over. It can still be anyone's game. So it'll be a massive game because obviously Dortmund won't go ahead of them, but they'll be 1 point away. I don't know how many games left in the season, but that'll be a big game. Last point on this. Do you think that the Bundesliga is setting a good example for the rest of the world, a good blueprint in terms of how their subs bench is 6 feet apart? They're all the coaching staff, they're wearing masks. Some of them are.
You've got the pros and cons for it, haven't you? Because obviously you've just mentioned like the wearing the mask, the sub bench is 2 meters apart. but then you're not allowed to celebrate, but then you slide tackle in, your man mark.
You slide, and then free kick, you're standing shoulder to shoulder next to three other people.
There's definitely the argument for both sides, but
then I think, on the flip side, they are testing 2 times a week, so
exactly.
So I think it's good to see that they're actually sticking to it and following the setting a good example in that respect.
Yeah,
then you've got like then you've got like Mönchengladbach having the cardboard cutout fans around the stadium.
Right,
that's nice.
Because they'll be getting income from that. I saw they were selling. They were like, I think it was £10 per cutout.
I think it was €19. I think it was.
Well, that's amazing. It's almost like what, £15 per.
That is how much a ticket is for go watch them. That.
So it's £30,000 of them.
Match day ticket for it.
That's a decent amount of money. So, in my opinion, that would be a great way for clubs to earn a match day income, because it's especially for the clubs who can't afford it. I think it's a great way. Like, imagine seeing yourself, your cardboard cutout self on the TV.
Mum, I'm on the telly.
All right, let's go to the next topic, which is sports in general. So how has the coronavirus hit not just football, like we were mentioning, golf, tennis, cricket, everything in the world, not just
he's just shut down absolutely everything. It's only just now about 10 weeks since it started becoming quite a big thing over here.
Do you think that
it's only just starting to reappear?
It's crazy. We've pretty much we've finished uni literally like 2 months ago. It's been 2 months since we were all at uni.
That's weird.
It is weird.
But do you think that people like, I don't know, Tiger Woods, Rory McIlroy in golf, do you think by them, I don't know, getting a head advantage over? Because I've heard and read that some players have been playing less golf because of they don't want to play because obviously the reasons. Do you think apparently?
I think with golf is a sport that is very, very easy to make a comeback.
Yeah.
Well, the golf courses are open now, aren't they, in the UK?
It's very, very easy in golf. If you just don't allow spectators in, it's very easy to stay 2 meters apart in golf.
Yeah.
But what about the caddy? Because especially if the caddy wants to talk to
that's
his...
where they have the argument of... Well, that is the argument with it, but if they're wearing all the protective equipment, then...
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Because they wear gloves anyway. They wear the golf gloves anyway for the grip. So
yeah,
I think that's a quick restart in my opinion. With the open,
or like a golf simulator in the houses and
they'll
still have. It's like the football players having like football things in the house.
It's like the darts
F1.
as well.
You have Silverstone is having to hold 2 races this year because of other countries getting worse.
I can't see that working very well.
I don't think the Formula 1 season.
To be fair, but if you think about it, F1 is not a very that type of sport where a crowd is a big factor. Because
it's not necessarily that though. It's not necessarily that though. You've got look at the pit crews and stuff and how big the teams are.
Just to change the tyres on the car midway through the race, you've got at least 6-7 people minimum all around the car, all really close. If it was
they'll
just
be touching the car, they'll be
if it was just the driver,
too close to each other.
If it was just a driver, it would have no issues coming back. But obviously, because it's got all the safety measures with the pit crew and all that, it's going to take time for that to come back. Because you can't hold.
If you can
races.
find a set of tyres that last 70 laps, then you're all right.
You're all right, but especially knowing how fast to go.
So would a good thing to implement would be make it shorter laps? So I know the Monaco Grand Prix only.
But if it's going to be it's got to be how it would be in a normal season.
Well, we're going to have like the 3 lap race that you can
but like they were suggesting that like some places, I know the Bahrain, I don't know where I think that's Singapore, I'm not 100% sure off the top of my head, but I know the Bahrain race is apparently thinking about limiting the laps because it obviously means that players won't have to keep pitting so often, which means less players will have.
But then
Like, I mean,
then the drivers and the pit crew and all that is going to make the argument. Well, like tactics wise, they get into the race in like the last like couple of laps. That's how they like win the races, and that you've got that's going to be a factor with it.
Yeah. Well, you've also got darts, obviously going to online, where they've had. I
personally think darts is going to be one of the later sports to fully get back to how it was.
Again,
darts,
it's very crowd driven, isn't it?
Darts is very
just
much
a chance for everyone to get drunk.
Yeah, darts is very much crowd driven with like ticket sales and that.
Yeah. So because like obviously there's the Gary Anderson bit where his internet wasn't not
Wi-Fi.
That was funny. That was.
But honestly,
that's sorted that out.
And honestly, that is a massive factor for him and his family, because he would be, if he had better Wi-Fi, he'd be probably getting some surprise tournament money. So him not having the best, obviously the good Wi-Fi and having to go at home and do it could affect him financially.
Oh yeah, it will do.
Tell the kids to get off YouTube for a bit.
But do you not think that this could have a massive impact with darts as well?
I think darts is going to struggle purely for the fact that it is.
Darts isn't a multi-million-pound.
Yeah, it's classed as a smaller sport, but it is.
Yeah, because you've got the biggest events. What's it called? The World Championship.
I think
the Premier League's been suspended till July, hasn't it? The end of July.
Yeah, I think darts did well in the sense that they managed to finish off the World Championships, luckily in January before it all sort of kicked off.
Yeah.
That has definitely helped them, because if that was halfway through, then they would have struggled. I think
it's going to have a massive effect on darts, like massive. I think it's going to be. I think it'll be just as bad as football because it's so crowd driven. Players can get behind the crowds, get to make better shots.
Like merchandise sales and all that. Because you buy a darts player's top, they're going to make money off that. But if you're not going to the events, you're not going to buy one, are you?
Yeah, no. And I doubt Gary Anderson's a multi-millionaire. He obviously has a lot of money, but like these lower players will be they'll be suffering from this, especially like football.
Yeah.
Definitely players outside of that Premiership bracket, players are going to be struggling in darts.
Exactly. The last one for this subject is obviously tennis. So you've got what, Jack? Do you want to talk about this?
Yeah, well, we would have had the French Open now. I think that would have started yesterday.
Yeah.
So I think they're hopeful for that to return in autumn. But
you said that was the US Open that's coming.
That's the French Open, and then the US Open. They're hoping for the end of August.
I think
that'll be behind closed doors.
Yeah. Darts is very easy. Not darts. Tennis is very easy to like social distance and that.
Yeah.
Oh,
the other end of the court.
Yeah. But again, like if you look at Wimbledon, obviously it's been cancelled this year
for the first time since World War II, isn't it?
Yeah, you still got the centre court still holds like 20,000 people. And again, that's just as big as Bournemouth stadiums in the Premier League. So you've still got like mass crowds. And again, tennis can be driven by crowd. I know they can't cheer during the play, but afterwards, and you've got people cheering you on. Like look at Andy Murray in the finals where he did all this at the other. Like so, like maybe obviously this isn't like darts where it's not. It's a multi-million-pound sport. It's the second most played sport in the UK, and it's obviously it's a multi-million-pound sport. You got what's his name, Federer, one of the world's richest sports players. But especially again, like I said, for the lower players, they won't be liking this because they won't be able to play. And it's not like darts where you can live stream it.
No.
Yeah. Well, obviously you've seen that, like to kind of pass the time. Like a lot of these sports have been doing like tournaments and stuff. Obviously, you've had the FIFA tournament in the Premier League.
I think that was really good. I think
James Maddison knocking out Villa.
I think like the Championship should do something like that. And, I know there was a Football Manager one as well.
Yeah,
there was that massive tournament that Leyton Orient did, weren't there?
Yeah,
that's
I think is that still up in the air a bit?
I don't really know what's happened.
That went quiet. That went quiet after the first first round of games, it went quiet. That did.
I've heard that Leyton Orient gained a massive publicity through that.
Oh yeah,
apparently they gained like 60,000 followers on Twitter.
It was all over Twitter, all over social media.
And then they've got countries all. They've got football teams from all around the world.
Yeah.
As far as Australia, you had teams in Australia who were taking part in it.
Yeah, so obviously you've had these FIFA tournaments happening. You've had that darts
the home tour.
Then you've had Formula One have been doing it, haven't they? Where they've got a load of like Charles. It's Charles Leclerc, isn't it? That kind of been doing a lot. He's streaming and stuff. And you've had like I don't know if like any other sports have done it off the top of my head, but I know them three straight away. So they've kind of been adjusting it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's the last section, unless anyone wants to adapt anything else on that. So last section is give our opinion. So what is our opinions on how will everything start up? Do you think it's a good thing? Do you think it's a bad thing? Not just in football, in every sport. Do you think that it's specifics? There's more, every sport should have, because there's obviously crowd driven, not crowd driven. You can do things online and not online. Do you think that, let's just start with football. Do you think that the Premier League, obviously it's the biggest league in England, but do you think that should start on mid-June?
I think with what's going on at the moment, with all these tests that are coming back with loads of people testing positive, I think it's too soon to come back. I think
it can't.
The training rules isn't too bad. Like people training, I mean, because obviously people are going back to work anyway in general. But I think to start it is, I think at the moment it's too risky.
I don't think the Premier League should start until you can have a gathering of 20 or so people.
Yeah, because I was thinking the other day, I don't know if you've watched it, but I was watching obviously the popular YouTuber called Spencer FC. He just did his IMO, which he gives his opinion on things.
Oh yeah,
very good video. I'd highly recommend to watch it. But basically, he says what happens if someone like Mohamed Salah, one of the best players in the league, gets the virus, gets very ill, then that means Liverpool will have to self-isolate for 2 weeks. The whole squad, you've got the backroom staff, you've got the players.
Literally, anyone who was in that stadium is going to be told you've got to isolate for 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
That'll be their opponents as well.
Exactly, and obviously you can delay it so they won't play for 2 weeks. But what happens if they're
how far can that go?
Exactly. So all it takes is one player to get it. The whole league.
It took for Mikel Arteta to test positive and get ill from it.
Yeah.
For them to say, right, we can't actually play this anymore.
Yeah,
and I think it was ridiculous as well. Bad in the sense.
Obviously, Wayne Rooney did that article, didn't he? Not long after it had been cancelled, the league had been postponed. How it took, obviously, in the same week, Leicester had the two players. Well, they weren't named, but two people at the club tested positive for the virus. Nothing happened. As soon as a big club happens, like Mikel Arteta, obviously that. The league was cancelled straight away without hesitation. It's just, and then Rooney went on that massive rant in the time.
Have you heard that there's obviously a fact where, I genuinely, I don't know if I haven't actually done my research on this, so I'm just linking it off what Spencer said in his video. Have you heard that African American / minority group people are more likely to get the virus?
Well, you can look at the statistics anyway. They've been the people that have been getting it more.
Exactly. And especially and there's a stat where I think it's 65% of the Premier League is of ethnic minority, which is the worst case, because you've got the Bundesliga where actually only, I think it's 40% is from ethnic minority. So you've got a massive difference where that could alter the issue, it could alter the result on what's going to happen. Do you think that have a massive play in bringing it back?
You've just got to weigh up every option you can.
In Germany now, the number of cases of the virus is genuinely it's lowered quite a bit now, and that is why they decided we can bring back football. I think with the UK, with the numbers, I think they're still. I know the deaths are going down, but
they're still high, aren't they?
They're still high, and the number of positive tests coming back is still on average about 2,500 a day.
let's go.
And then obviously you've got like you get to the point now where obviously the League has been scheduled to come back, confirmed that's coming back. Mid June, isn't it? It's coming back.
Yeah. I think it's the same in Portugal as well.
They said that our country is 2 weeks behind Europe, didn't they?
Yeah.
But I think we've just made it worse for ourselves by delaying everything.
With Jack and obviously Will being Stoke fans in the EFL, do you think that'll have? What do you think the EFL will do?
Well, I think they've got to follow the Prem, really. Yeah. I think they've got to have a point where everyone agrees that it's ready to come back. Because I think teams are back in training. I think it's today.
You think?
The Championship.
Obviously, League 2 has been cancelled as well.
That's where I think EFL have messed up personally.
If you're going to cancel one, you're going to cancel them all.
Yeah, I know that. If you're going to cancel one league, you've got to cancel the other two.
They've done it on like the points per game, haven't they?
That's the right way to do it. If you're going to cancel it, that is the right way to do it.
Yeah.
But then you've got the argument. They're still having the playoffs, but teams at the bottom don't have the opportunity to fight.
There's no relegation in League.
There is.
Is there?
They're on about having
I think they are still doing relegation.
Poor.
I think the original plan was points per game, no relegation, because the National League was null and void.
Yeah, exactly. The National League, look at obviously.
They're still going to do the playoffs, aren't they? Because Vale just missed out, didn't they?
So
I think how the points per game has worked. I think Crewe and Swindon are definitely both up. If they should go ahead with the promotion. Then I think it was at first it was Plymouth was going to just go up without the playoffs because they were third. But if you're doing playoffs now, it could be anyone else who's in the playoffs, couldn't it?
No. Well, other sports. Do you think they'll come back? So let's just start off with tennis. Just a quick one. Do you think tennis?
I think tennis will definitely come back
because they can just play without a crowd, can't they? But it's obviously they can just have the umpire on his chair like far away, and then you've got the two players and like definitely standing.
And then you've got the ball boys, haven't you, as well?
True, very true. Yeah. Because obviously they're next to each other sometimes.
But then the Bundesliga had the ball boys, and they just disinfected the ball. So could they?
Yeah, they
do that with that.
Wear masks and everything.
Yeah. Them 2 meters apart on the side.
We've gone over the 30-minute mark, which is what we said. We said between half an hour, 45 minutes. I think we should just quickly summarise what we're going to try and do with this podcast. Obviously, at the moment it's Bank Holiday Monday that we're filming this. We're going to try and edit it between tonight and tomorrow.
Sure that everything actually worked to how we wanted it to.
We've done a few tests before. I've already set it up. So what I'll do is I'll try and edit it this evening and tomorrow. Get it published out. Be sure to check out the Instagram to find out when.
Team Talk Podcast.
Yeah, Team Talk Podcast. And we'll try and update you as soon as it's out.
Are we doing this weekly?
I think we're going to try and do it weekly.
Yeah, weekly.
Try and make it a weekly thing. Gives us something to do.
If there's more things relevant.
We're trying to do it.
How it is now is very much temporary.
Yeah.
We're hoping when everything is more back to normal, like what it was before, we can all be in the same room doing it.
It's more of a trial and error kind of thing at the minute. When we're all back at uni, we're gonna we've got the facilities at uni to use proper equipment.
Proper equipment. Yeah.
Yeah, bit more professional. So we'll try that. We'll just go from there, and we'll just see what happens.
It'll be easier when the sport's back as well to have more to talk about.
Oh, a lot more to talk about.
Yeah. Well,
next
we'll come up
next
with,
week. Obviously, the league will be closer to being back. So there's that. We can sort of preview that, what games and all
that.
Yeah. Perhaps go more in depth on a review on what the football that's happened over the weekend as well.
You've also got the golf starting. You got the Open starting. I think it's the Open starting in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. But we'll call it that. It's been
hopefully
a pleasure. It
wasn't awful.
I hope you enjoyed it.
Don't come out awful.
Been good. And we'll see you all next week.